The RobTop levels are probably the first levels we played when opening Geometry Dash for the first time. These levels serve as an introduction to the game's mechanics to prepare us for all the user-generated levels created by the community. But when I started to play some of the user-generated levels for the first time, something was off about them. They just seemed to have worse gameplay than the RobTop levels for some reason. I bet you also felt like this going to generated levels for the first time. Like, it felt like going from pizza to pineapple on pizza. Okay guys, I'll stop. So, to answer this, I've come up with 3 explanations on why the RobTop levels just have better gameplay than even some of the best levels out there, like, Mountain Forest too, like, duh. Anyways, here's why the RobTop levels are so perfect. To start off with the most obvious part of this question, it is just what most of us start with unless you accidentally slip on your mouse and go straight to bloodbath, or even worse, generate. When you start out, using your prior knowledge of gaming will tell you to press on the big play button. Then, most people will either pick the first or even the last level to play based on their IQ level. Studies show that we are more likely to remember the first time experiences better than others. Like, you probably remember the first time you went into the back rooms rather than the 100th. Our brains will just suddenly get used to the gameplay style of RobTop levels. But how is RobTop's gameplay style different from others? Well, hopefully the second part of this explanation can clear that up. RobTop made the game, therefore he knows the physics more than others. Or maybe he's just smarter than the rest of us, like, this is what we do with his game. With this intense knowledge of the physics, he can utilize this to make everything line up in the level the way physics are made. For example, these jumps in Stair of Madness are made to teach you how to hold jump, and it does so by making these stairs perfectly lined up so that it matches each jump. Most other creators don't always utilize the physics to make good syncing gameplay, and because RobTop made the physics, he knows the physics. So if that is the case, why do we still have parts like this, you son of a... But still, I think this next point will actually be as important as other two, and it isn't as obvious as you think. Since the beginning, RobTop's levels were the first ones. The people who wanted to create levels took ideas and mechanics from one of his levels and put it in his own level. Or they totally ripped it off.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, the map packs are pretty bad. But what I'm trying to say here is that every level comes from the RobTop levels. Unless if you're Sheldon enough to make something like this, like, dude, how is this even Geometry Dash? Have you ever seen a fan game that is trying to copy the original? Doesn't that game always feel a little off? That's what's happening with every level in the game. Since the RobTop levels are the first ones we played, we see them as the originals. In the back of our minds, we are constantly comparing any level we played to RobTop's, and they will always be different. The RobTop levels were made as an example for all the levels. These levels are how we determine whether a level is good or not even a level. Like, to the people who make these levels, go learn something useful like tax fraud. Okay, I'll stop. So, I hope this video will clear up any questions you had, and if you didn't, I'm glad I could waste your time. Thank you for watching, and wow, that ending was anticlimactic.